everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Nature Patch. My name is Robyn. It is a really lovely, nice and cool Sunday here down in southeast Queensland. It's actually my birthday yesterday, so this whole weekend has just been a really nice chill weekend to celebrate my birthday and see some family. So we're in between seeing family right now, but I wanted to get out in the garden and get a few jobs done. So over the past few days I have been pretty busy in the garden and I wanted to catch you up with what I've been doing. So to start this video off, I'm going to insert some footage from a few days ago when I planted some more onions. I planted some red ones way up the back there in my in-ground garden. I had a few issues with filming on that day because a big massive storm came over and I basically got drenched, but I hope you enjoy this little clip here of me planting the onions and I will catch up with you after that. So I put down some cardboard around here just to smother some of the grass and weeds. I'm going to lift this up and just add a bit of compost into the soil to fluff it up a little bit and then plant the onions in there. I'm going to need to use my mattock to get in a little bit deeper to this soil. That's pretty much as deep as I can get. This is really rock hard soil, so it needs a lot of organic matter and a lot of fluffing up to do. So today I've been out in the garden mulching those onions that you just saw me plant. So I hadn't bought any sugarcane mulch for a while and I needed to pick some up, so I went down to our local hardware place and got some sugarcane mulch. One tip when you're mulching any new seedlings or any plants that you plant is to give it a really good water first and then put the mulch over it and then give it another water in, and that just allows that contact from the mulch to the soil to happen, and that contact will ensure that the mulch doesn't blow away or anything like that, and it'll slowly decompose and put more nutrients back into your soil while keeping it all moist. I've also been mulching this bed over here, so I'll take you over there. So this bed here, I might do a video on it later on, but it has a lot of small seedlings in it at the moment, and this bed was actually created with using a no-dig principle, and I basically just used food scraps and dry materials to build up the soil in this layer. The soil in this area is really rock hard and has a lot of large stones in it. It's really difficult to grow in this area, but I really wanted to grow some winter vegetables here because, as you can see, it gets a little bit of sunlight and the raised beds behind me tend to not get that much. One thing you want to note when you're using food scraps is that you might get some seedlings pop up. So I've been using some Malabar spinach to kind of layer this, but Malabar spinach, when it does come into contact with the ground, it'll start rooting. So I've just been making sure to pull any of those up around this bed. But so far it's looking pretty good. And one thing that is really enjoying all of the really rich nutrients in here is the broccoli that I planted, but also the lettuce has been really enjoying this. So because this bed is not very deep, what I'm trying to do apart from the broccoli is to grow things that have a less complex root system. So again, things like lettuce, corn salad, spinach, rocket, and some leeks as well. These typically don't need to bury really far down into the soil to get nutrients, but as long as I'm giving this bed a really good feed of nitrogen, which is what all of these plants like, then hopefully, fingers crossed, it should be doing well. And just to give you an idea of what it looks like underneath, I haven't given this a good water yet, but basically it is just black goodness under here. And this was all food scraps with a little bit of dry material, and it is broken down really quickly. There are so many worms in here, so I'm really happy with how this is going. So another thing that I really wanted to do today is to make some more fertilizer. A lot of the plants that I have in the ground now are really hungry nitrogen feeders, as well as some of the tomatoes need a bit more nutrients like calcium and potassium because they're starting to flower and fruit. So I'm running a little bit low on my fertilizer from the store at the moment, and I just want to conserve that for as long as I can. But I'm going to be making my homemade fertilizer, which is basically just like a mix of disgusting goodness for the plants. And the way I do that is to basically use whatever I have on hand. So at the moment I have a lot of food scraps. We recently got a big box of bananas from a fruit store, which is $10 for like a massive box, and we eat so many bananas. We just put them in smoothies, banana bread, you name it, we will eat bananas. But banana peels are a really awesome waste material that you can use in their garden. They're really high in things like potassium and sulfur and calcium, which is really great for when your tomatoes are flowering. So I've got a bucket down here, and I'm basically just going to dump everything in there along with a few weeds that I have around the garden, and add some water, and then over the next few days just dilute it and use it over the plants. So I know it looks really disgusting, but I can guarantee you there will be a lot of goodness within that water. I probably wouldn't leave it any more than a week, and after I use up all of the water in there and dilute it in a watering can, I just chuck it all straight into the compost, and it decomposes even quicker as well. If you're worried about mosquitoes, you can put a lid on the top. I'm going to be putting a lid on top of it at night and then just letting it breathe during the day. It's really up to you how much you want to dilute it, but I usually do about like a 10-to-1 ratio or so. But in my next video, I will show you how to do that and give you an update on that glorious, disgusting mess. I don't really have too much more to do in the garden, but I do want to go pick some tomatoes, and I just need to tie up some of the tomato plants. So I will show you how the tomatoes are going. So I'm just going to secure some of these tomatoes because, see, they're kind of flailing around a little bit, and we've been having a bit more higher winds some days, so I just want to put some more string around them and ensure that they don't fall over or break in the wind. And I just use this material here. Not sure exactly what it's called, but it seems to compost all right, and it's basically just like a stretchy black material, kind of just like a stocking, and I find this works really well because it doesn't constrict the plant rather than string, which can be a little bit harsh on the plants. So all I do is just cut about that much or so, and then just tie up the plant wherever I think it needs it, just being careful of any fruits that it may have, and on a stretch of the tomato which doesn't have a lot of side shoots as well. I'm going to continue to go around the garden and fill up this basket with some salad ingredients. I'm really craving a fresh salad, and all of these vegetables look really delicious, so I'm really excited to make a salad with this. I hope you enjoyed this little Sunday garden vlog. I hope you're all having a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and until my next video, happy gardening, guys. Bye!